you received some of that hate mail, and then you know eventually some of those started turning around. So you want to share just one of those stories, or a
Yeah.
little bit
So
about that?
honestly, I kept, after about the first 90 days here, we started seeing results. We started seeing people saved. Every service, literally, people were responding for salvation. Lives were being changed, and that's the ultimate trump card. It's hard to argue with that because people might hate the music, they might not like the style, but if people are getting saved, at the end of the day, it's hard to argue with that. So we were seeing people saved pretty regularly. The church was beginning to grow, even though we lost a couple hundred people over that first, 3 or 4 months. The church was starting to grow. Good things were happening, and so I kept all that hate mail. But what we did in the process is we just told our staff, because our staff was getting frustrated, and they were saying, "What should we do? Should we talk about it? Should we respond?" And I would invite every one of those people to have a conversation with me, like, "Hey, let's talk." That's what Matthew 18 says. Like, come to my office, let's sit down. I'll meet you somewhere. And none of them, not a single family, ever would. And so I just made the decision, we're going to love them in spite of this. And so what happened is, I would be talking to somebody in the lobby, and I would see one of these people walking through out of the corner of my eye, and I'd say, "Excuse me one second." I'd turn and go, "Hey, it's great to see you today. I love you so much. I'm so glad you're here." And part of that was because it was a discipline, because I needed to make myself say I love you, because I didn't feel like loving them very much. But it was also a discipline for my heart to it kind of brought my heart into alignment to love them. And so we just made the decision to do that. And of all the hate mail that we got, I kept it all. And about 2 or 3 years ago now, probably, I went through it. I found it all and went through it. And of all the pieces of hate mail that we got, either handwritten, emails, Facebook messages, I printed it all. I saved it. Of all of that, only one family left our church. All the rest of the families stayed in our church, and most of them are some of our biggest supporters today. And I'm so grateful that we just decided, we chose the high road. We just said, "Hey, we're not going to trash them. We're going to love them, and if they stay, we're going to love them. If they leave, we're going to love them." And so, honestly, that's paid off. We sowed seed that we didn't know if we'd ever see the fruit from, and we're seeing the fruit of it today. And that was a really hard season. It wasn't easy at all, but I'm so grateful that we just chose the high road. And I've told people the high road sucks, but the good news is there's no traffic. So we just chose the high road and loved on people in spite of it, and that proved to them our character and who we were and what we were about.
Wow. I mean, that just sounds crazy to keep all these pieces of mail that just seem like they're attacking you, but you're a weird guy, man. So it works out.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were moments that were, I had two people leave the church on the same day. One person said, "You're too legalistic, so we're leaving the church," and one said, "You water down the gospel too much, so we're leaving the church." And it's like, wait a second, like you're saying opposite things, right? And so at the end of the day, you just decide, man, I can't make you people happy, so I'm just going to do what God's calling us to do, and love you as well as I can, love God as well as I can, and let the chips fall where they may.